Hey guys, welcome back. It's your rear garage. Look, Tristan's here finally.
Hello.
He's back. And we've been really busy, actually. We've been like throwing this together. Last you guys saw, I got the motor in and we confirmed that cylinder 4 has compression. You see this, guys? It used to be 30 PSI, now it's 160, just like the rest of them. So perfectly good to go. We fixed the injector harness, which was causing a misfire on cylinder 5. And then I think there was like 1 or 2 other issues that we got resolved. But like I said, we've been real busy. Look at that. Everything's all back together, ready to go. This thing it's actually pretty straightforward to put together. My main bitching is going to be from the high pressure fuel pump, which you can't even see because it's just so hard to get there. It's just impossible. All the hard lines and yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately that was a one-man job, but I just watched Davis struggle while I gave him moral support the whole time. And
Held the camera.
And then we got it all together, and then of course one of the fuel lines was bad and leaked, and so we had to replace that.
Here it is. I even had to cut it off. This thing was just ancient, and there was a pinhole crack on one of the barbs. So, and I even told Tristan when we were putting this on, I'm like, this was the hardest one to remove. So I hope we don't have to take it off again.
And then we immediately did. And now that that's replaced, no fuel leaks. So that is perfect.
I mean, it's not without consequence. There's a lot of fumes in the garage. Like, we've been baking in here, guys.
That's
like,
the first thing I said to him.
Going to the liquor store? No. Just
not even brake clean,
fuel
just
leak.
fuel.
Well, I don't know. Actually, what's more expensive, a gallon of like vodka or a gallon of gasoline? Probably, definitely gas is cheaper.
Yeah, actually, no, actually, because like the half gallon's like $20, $30.
Well, no, gas is only like what?
That's like $3 a gallon.
Four gallon?
Yeah.
$4 a gallon?
Yeah.
Yeah, so gas is way cheaper. So there you go.
That's how you're gonna get high.
If you want to save some money, just gas leak in your car.
You heard it here first.
So anyways, there is about 5 quarts of oil in here. I just put some oil in while I did the compression test. I didn't want to do it dry.
Yep.
But I poured all over the valve train. Like there's oil in the top end. Should be good. And we'll probably crank it a little bit more before firing it.
And then we're gonna do another oil change on it. As the oil, it's gonna be, you know, like the good stuff that it's gonna end up with, and change the filter and all that again.
Yeah. We got the dipstick to put back in, even though it is literally not a dipstick. It's just a plug.
You can buy a dipstick for it.
Yeah.
Which is great.
So we need to fish down there and actually get it in there. You can't do it from the top side. There's just literally no way. You can't see it.
Yeah.
And only other thing is we have to get the coolant bled and everything. So Isaiah actually got a coolant bleeder tester thing. So basically put that in, vacuums on the system, then you can see if there's any leaks. Yep. So we'll take advantage of that before we move forward with getting everything back together. But I mean, it's already back together. So.
Yep, there's just a few things we have to do. Got to lift up the motor, do a few things underneath, plug in a few extra things, and it should be ready to
yeah, we'll probably have this going in probably like an hour max.
Yeah.
Probably less than that.
And then possibly be driving on the road with it.
Yep. Well, I gotta get some insurance, guys. I don't want to be driving dirty in this thing. I don't want to wreck it and be out of it.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yep. So, but I got the title, registration, everything. You know, it's in my name, ready to go. But this thing looks great now that it's back together. Half the work is literally the intake manifold and that fuel pressure. Like, I spent most of this morning. It's 1:45 right now, and I started at like 10:30. So in that many hours, I put the motor in. Like less than that, I put the motor in. So yeah, this thing's a beast, guys. But we're gonna go ahead and get it up in the air, and we'll be right back. So that's another thing. This is like leaking.
Yeah.
So I noticed one. Oh hi guys, we're back. Mid conversation. I just want to tighten the rear because it's actually loose. I could like get my fingernail under there. But yeah, that's where that goes. We just need to make sure this isn't touching that belt right there.
Yeah, which is very close.
Yeah. I'm almost thinking it needed to be routed from under here. It's just so hard to tell. I mean, that clearly looks like it sits like that, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's supposed to. But
that's like too far.
That's gonna get eaten for sure. Now the dipstick, Jesus Christ. Cheese and rice.
Yeah, we also need to get that oil.
Good luck.
I see it. It's right.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, you can't really see the hole that it goes into.
Well, you just poke around.
Yeah. That's usually how a guy finds a hole, right?
It's right there, guys. At the tip of the flashlight. Here, you want to hold the camera?
Sure.
I will reach up there and see what I can do.
Good luck.
Ow.
Oh, look at his arms, guys. He got such built forearms.
Let me see if I can find the hole first with my finger, as one does. I can't. It's definitely in this area.
It's definitely in the area, the general vicinity.
Yeah, so there's definitely something wrong with how this is routed, unfortunately. I think it needs to come from down here.
Yeah.
And those are part of some, oh yeah, these definitely, see those?
Yeah.
They connect into that. Do you see these things?
I do now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, we could unplug these and try routing it. It's just the starter and then the... Oh, there's a socket. Look at this.
Is that, hell yeah. That would have been really shitty if you had lost that permanently.
And there's some of the bell housing bolts there. And there's some more on the other side, but we definitely need to reroute this.
Wow, look at how much room you have here, guys, for the bell housing on this side.
Yeah. I think what we should probably do is just get some of this done. So we're probably going to stop the recording real quick and
we need to move. It's getting kind of later in the day. It's almost 2. And so we want to be driving from an hour and a half from now. So we will be right back.
Hey everyone, that was totally an hour that just passed. And look at, we got this all back together. We're going back on with the intake. There's no room to walk around, you know, of course. But we got everything done that we needed to. We filled the engine with this FVP full synthetic 5W40 European blend. It's just, you know, what Rock Auto had. Good stuff. We also, Isaiah got this pressure tester. So we put it about 17 PSI and it's really holding, doing pretty good. Like there was a little leak up here and we found that this hose had a pinhole in it. So we cut the line short and just put it back together and it's been sitting for a bit and it's doing pretty good there. So I think we're about ready to fill the system with coolant and we already put the oil in. What else? We're not missing anything critical, right?
Not that I know of.
Here, lift that higher. Yeah. I don't think we're missing anything critical. It's doing good. Empty this. We also got the European blend coolant for this whole thing.
Are we putting on the hood for the test drive?
Nah.
I don't think so.
We drive our Porsches without hoods here. Yeah, but this is a really cool system for just testing this, you know, your coolant system before you fill it with expensive coolant. You don't want to fill it and then have a leak and have to refill the whole thing and lose all your coolant. They got a bunch of different adapters for whatever car you're working on. And in this case, we should probably get our bleeder out. What are you doing? What is that?
Little
piece of candy
socket. Yeah, piece of candy, actually.
Yeah, we'll put some coolant in. Crap. Yeah, guys, I don't know if you heard, we have, you know, pure distilled water to put in this thing. Definitely not house water.
Definitely not the tap water over there.
And I'm looking at this. I don't think this kit, universal kit, is made for a Porsche. No, I'm looking at it. Yeah.
No. What about this?
That's not a fill. Also, you want the highest point being the reservoir.
Yeah, that's true, but...
Yeah, that's fine. What the heck, guys? Yeah, there's nothing even to, like... Yeah, I don't want to risk any of that. So, that sucks. I love this thing for bleeding systems. Guess we can't. I'm just going to fill it and...
I mean, you can still put the funnel in there and fill it that way.
No, the funnel side comes out wonky.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's right, because of that.
So we'll use this.
Yep.
I guess probably... Well, no, we already validated that the coolant system's good, so... I was going to say, usually you fire it up before... Make sure it's all good.
What color? Pink?
Purple.
Ooh.
Look at it.
I'd drink that. For sure.
So I'm going to put one of these in. I'm going to fill it with water. Put the other in.
Give it a little taste, Davis.
From there.
What does it taste like? Blurpleberry?
It's very sweet and delicious.
That's why the animals like it.
Yeah, they're smart.
They are very smart. Very human.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those very human videos?
Yep.
The design is very human.
Yeah, I was concerned with the coolant pipe hell on that side, that there would be leaks, but it worked just fine. So it's not really sucking any more down right now.
Oh.
What is that? What the heck is that? Oh, this overflowed. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
This overflowed.
Because I was like, we literally just pressure tested
Yeah, there's no way.
How would it overfill? I don't see any fluid.
This has like a dump or something, I don't know.
Oh, then I think we need to turn the vehicle on.
It's not dripping anymore. It was just, I overfilled the top of it.
Here, oh, fuck, I can't even like get over to the hoses to squeeze them.
Yeah. Think we just fire it up?
I think so. I think the car is telling us we need to.
All right, well, we open up the garage so we don't gas ourselves.
The car has a need for speed. I can already tell.
All right, just watch that, I suppose. Check under the car. I'm going to lower it.
Yeah, it is full, so there ain't nothing more to be put in there. The car has to want it.
Oh, Jesus. A little unnerving, but I already test compression. The injector wires should be good, and the coolant shouldn't leak. That was concerning the overflow there. We'll see what happens there, but I think that was literally it overflowing over the top of the reservoir there. Like physically overflowing and just falling.
Better.
All right.
Oh, wait. No, I'm just kidding.
There's no check engine codes. It's definitely running rough right now. Did the mass airflow get reconnected? Yeah, it didn't because you put that on, I think.
Yes, it did not.
That'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
I should probably also get my Autel scanner. Hopefully it's not dead.
Why would it be dead? Oh, your scanner.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that.
It dies all the time just sitting here.
Okay, it already sucked down some of it. So that's good. That's a good sign.
Were you vaping?
Yeah, it sure smells like it.
Smells like something burning.
But it's probably oil or some kind of residue on the harness and whatnot.
Okay, ready?
Yep. Sounds much better.
Way better.
Much better.
It's idling smooth. It's just gonna burn off a lot of stuff. Yeah. Sounds really good. Yeah, I touched everything, all the exhaust, so it's gonna get a little smoky in here, I think.
Yeah, I mean, just look at it.
I'm gonna check under the car. Oh shit. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I knew you were kidding.
We try to get each other, guys. Don't mind that little puddle. That was it messing up, overflowing. Look at that, guys. It's alive. I think I just heard it misfire. A little pop. That's fine. I'm gonna see about getting my scanner ready for this thing. But we're gonna let it run and get up to temp and scan it, and we'll be right back.
No, a little bit.
Guys, I fucked up. I'm just like getting on the dash, not charging. I'm like, what the heck? Why is it not charging? I check voltage, we're getting 12 volts. And I look down and I'm just looking, I'm squeezing the hoses, getting some air out, and I look at the pulley or the belt, and the belt's not spinning. And then I realize I left a bolt in the tensioner right there, which takes tension off of the belt. So the belt wasn't spinning, the alternator wasn't spinning, water pump wasn't spinning. It wasn't running that long, but it was like, it didn't even register on the dash like 150 degrees. So if that's not what you want, here you go, Tristan. Let me see if I can get a socket and we'll get the belt running. It'll probably be a lot happier after we do that. You know, it's just one of those things. Oh God, I'm gonna need to remove a bunch of stuff, I think, to get there.
Really?
Yeah, I might. There we go.
There you go.
There we go. Oop,
Oh, we didn't need it.
All right, let's
fire it up.
Yeah, let's give that another shot. Where did I put the key? Oh, did I leave it in there? No, where did I put it? Where did I put the key, guys? Oh, Jesus. There it is. It doesn't have the auto start feature, unfortunately.
Unfortunate.
Well, maybe it does.
This model didn't come with it.
Could be a secret
potentially.
option. Oh my God.
Hey, look, the belt's running. That's good.
Now it's idling lower too. Also, there's no like generator.
Oh, immediately sucked the coolant down in there.
Yeah, the water pump wasn't running.
Oh wow.
Add some more.
She thirsty now. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want to see right there. Belt spinning. Yeah, that was my bad, guys. I really shouldn't have done that.
It's not like it hurt anything.
Yeah. So yeah. Now that we have that out of the way, we're gonna let it run again a little bit more and get some coolant ran through it and check for codes. I did clear it. It had all the old codes, so I just cleared those. There's no check engine on the dash, but we'll see what happens as we just let it sit and idle. Hey guys, we're back, or at least I'm back. Tristan actually left. It's a couple days later. There's a couple more things to do on the Porsche. Last you saw it was idling and it went great. You know, no check engine codes, idled fine, no leaks. Nothing like that. So I kind of started putting some stuff back together. I did notice that the power steering was out, so I went ahead and checked. There was no fluid in the reservoir. So I got some, I think it's CHF202, which is like the power steering fluid for this. You can't just put like normal ATF in there. It took only just a little bit and it filled it up just fine, and I bled the system and power steering is back and working, which is good. I have observed no leaks. You know, everything is dry under there, nothing. And just a couple other things. I got the hood back on. As you can see, new hood struts for the prop. I don't know how high I can touch the ceiling. I probably will. But as you can see, they work really great. I got some of the cladding back on, the engine cover stuff. So I'll be, you know, continuing putting that back together. I did see that the headlight bulbs, one of them is different color than the other for some reason. One is a lot cooler. The other one's more yellow. So like one's white, one's yellow. So I did buy new headlight bulbs so we can replace that. Also just getting it more roadworthy. I got the license plate on there front and back, and the rear reflector was broken. I threw that away already, but I'll show you what the new one looks like. I mean, obviously just no damage. Here it is before it was completely destroyed. The lens was destroyed. Also, this is the damaged exhaust tip. I actually just bent it kind of back in place, bent the kink out of it. So before it was actually completely crimped. So that might have caused a little bit of an exhaust restriction, but should be gone. And I have a new one coming. I did buy a replacement already, but it was the wrong one, unfortunately. So that's some money down the drain. But I have a new exhaust tip, OEM. You know, all I can recommend you guys is if you're working on stuff like this and you have damaged parts, just take them off and look and see if they have a part number, because they usually do. And then you can just buy that part number. That's what I ended up doing the second time, unfortunately. Like I said, I already bought one, was wrong, so live and learn. But yeah, now we have one more thing to do really before it is totally roadworthy. So a full fluid service. I have differential fluid. So this is GL5 right there, same 5 W90. So this should be good for the front and rear differentials. I did check, and it's not the electronic locking front and rear. There's no electronics to it, so This is all I need. You don't need any kind of like a friction modifier or whatever for the clutches. And then the transfer case, this is DTF1. This is Porsche certified. It's Porsche 00004330136 and 00004330563. So this will work for the transfer case, both by this brand, Triax. I've never heard of it, but it seems pretty good, and it's not $1 trillion like the Porsche fluid or other equivalents. So I fully trust this. New fluid's better than nothing. And then for the transmission, it is the 8-speed. It's not like the dual clutch or anything. It's just normal torque converter transmission. It's an Aisin transmission, so I just went with the Aisin ATF OWS. So this is basically what it comes from the factory with. I think Aisin is owned by Toyota, so you can also just get the Toyota fluid, but the Aisin was the cheapest, and it is manufacturer, so thought that's probably going to be the best. And then we have a new pan filter and gasket, so we're going to be dropping the pan, swapping all that out, so we'll have that all complete. I did buy this neat tool. We're going to test and see how well it works. It is a fluid transfer pump that uses a drill. So we'll stick this end into the gear oil, which that's what I'm going to test first. I'm going to be starting out with the differential fluid here first, because it's just going to be kind of a proof of concept. If this doesn't work well, I have the old hand pump somewhere, and we'll do that. But yeah, I'm going to start with the differential service first. Getting under here, I need to pull off the undercladding. But as you can see, no leaks anywhere, no drips. It's all good, which makes me very happy. But we take off this undercladding to get to the front differential, which is right there. And then this part right here, this rear, we need to take off to get to the transmission pan. And the front will also help assist with that. There's a drain for that. Moving farther back, here's the transfer case, super clean under here. There's no leaks at all. We have a fill and drain, so the fill is right there, drain's right here. We'll just crack those open. It looks like a 8mm Allen or something like that. And then all the way to the rear, as you can see, there's no electronic plugs. It's not a locking diff or anything. Kind of like the, front diff and the transfer case. We got the fill and we got the drain. So filling for the differentials at least is you just drain it, put the drain plug back in, and then fill it until liquid starts coming out of the top, and then you can plug her up. And that's going to be the same case for the transfer case. Just drain it and fill it until it trickles out of there. And then the transmission here, you just drain it from that guy right there. There's a little drain plug right at the end of my finger. I'm trying to get the light on there as well at the same time, but it's not working. That guy right there, there. So you remove that and it'll drain a bit, and then there's a little insert that sets the level. So it's like a straw that sits above the fluid. So the fluid level needs to get higher than that, and then once it starts trickling out of that, then you're good. I might measure just how much fluid comes out of here, just to be kind of doubly sure. But you drain it, you put the straw thing back in, and then you start pumping fluid up through it. There's a Porsche special part that lets you do it, but I'm just gonna put some tubing up there and just force the fluid up there. I think it's gonna be unavoidable. I'm gonna need to do hand pump to get fluid into that. I don't think I can use my drill pump. So just a little bit of a workout. I think I got 8 quarts. I think that's probably what's gonna come out of here. So we'll go ahead and get started. All right, let's go ahead and get these out of here. They're all 10 mils except for 2 RT30s. Drop that. All right, I think, well, let's see, maybe I can remove this as one piece. That'd be pretty slick, wouldn't it be? I could have raised the car a little bit higher, but it's whatever. Let's see, actually those ones should have been, probably stayed. I'm gonna see if I can remove this as one piece. That'd be nice if I could do that. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it'd be cool. That is tightening. You don't want to do that? You don't want to strip out your stuff? Okay, it's definitely getting loose. Oh yeah, I got some long wounds up here. You out. I'm just dropping all these. Okay, I think we got, well, that's all of them, I think. Yeah, it's just sitting there. Nice. Cool. Move that over. Should get maybe a magnet tray for all these. Definitely when I do the transmission pan, I'll want a magnet tray. Hold all the bolts. I'm just gonna put these over here. That's good. My freaking light went out. Probably wasn't helping you, but there's that. I think I'll also take out this cross. I don't even know what the hell this does. It doesn't seem to be doing. Oh, this is a bracket that holds on the under tray. So that's a little important, but easily removed. I always recommend, if you're gonna be using an impact and like loosening something right above you, to either put on safety glasses or employ safety squints. I guess I can separate this properly. Oh, there's a nut on top or something. Oh, ow. Oh,
See a little bit of the problem. Studs are on. My freaking flashlight keeps dying. So this bolt does not want to come out. So we're gonna just try to. Well, then how am I gonna get it back in? I guess I'll extract it properly. I guess.
There we go. That came out. It looks like someone freaking cut this bolt or something. I don't know. But now these can come out in 2 pieces. That one is just getting stuck. I'm gonna keep this one over there so I know it goes on that side in the correct orientation. And then this one is just gonna have to come out. It's just gonna have to cooperate. There we go. Well, there we go. I'm gonna get a new light because this one is just broken. Don't buy the cheapest work lights off Amazon, guys. They just don't work after, you know, destroying them. You'd expect anything branded as a work light would be durable, though. All right, guys, I just forgot about this. I was getting everything prepared to drain the oil here, and I grabbed the oil bucket, or I guess the oil catch, and I forgot I kept the original oil filter off this thing. I honestly think they did a service, like, just before it blew up. You know, just they were getting everything all ready for it, and then they destroyed the injector harness, and that melted the valve. But anyways, we have the oil filter here. So let me see if I can hold the camera. Look at that. All right. And I looked through it earlier, and it looks very clean. There's like nothing in it. So again, this was probably just like a completely new filter. So there wouldn't be much chance of anything going through it. But regardless, it's good to look through these, you know, between oil changes if you have the capability to. I have a filter cutter, but this is just, you know, obviously just a open filament element. Sorry, I don't know what you call it. Element, filament, whatever. The filter media is not encased in a metal thing, so you can look through them. And it looks good. Now my hands are oily. All right, guys, got the up-close view of this differential. So the drain is right here. So I'm just gonna see, or sorry, the fill is right here. I'm gonna see if I can crack the fill open. Not just sideways. What the heck? 1 second, technical difficulties. 8mm is the correct size. Just make sure it goes in all the way before you start cranking it. There, that's all the way in. Hopefully not a lot comes out the top. Oh no, I knocked you over, guys. All right, take 2. I guess this is like 3. Okay, so that came loose just fine. Now, loosen the actual drain. Oh, wow. These don't get torqued very high. You know, they're going into an aluminum case. You don't want to accidentally crack it. I have done that, not myself. It was a Mazda I was working on. The oil filter, or the oil filter bracket had a oil pressure sensor, and it just got threaded in too tight at some point, caused a hairline crack in the case, and then it, you know, leaked. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I mean, that's really clear. I don't know what the new fluid looks like, but that is just, it's got a little bit of darkness to it, but it's not terrible. And then, is this a magnet on the back? It's a little bit sludgy. There's just a minor amount of, you know, shavings on this. So probably good that we're doing this. Should actually loosen the top as well. Everything's all oily now. Oh God, doesn't smell bad at all. Definitely gonna need to get some of those simple green wipes down here. Just loosening the top fill plug because I want to create air passage for the top for fluid to come out, but I guess there's already most of the fluid out anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna clean these up, hit them with some brake clean, and we'll plug out the drain and we'll fill it. Yeah. All right, they're all good, ready to go, cleaned up. They do have O-rings, but they were sealing pretty good as is, so I'm not gonna replace them right now. All right, tight, and I'm just gonna give it a little bit, nothing too crazy. And I'm gonna come back with some brake clean and just spray all this down once we're done. Now, something I didn't really anticipate, everything's gonna be kind of high. The car is pretty high up, so I'm going to probably need to get like a box or something to put the Who's-It calls it on it. You know what, I might even go a step further and see if I got even a smaller hose. I mean, this will work. I just need to get the right angle. Smaller one would just be more convenient. So I just took the line from my hand pump and just gonna see if I can just use this, you know. I actually might be able to get a lot of good work done with this. Flip it around, actually. This is the side that was on the nozzle, so it's a little bit bigger than the fill side. Also with the clear tubing, you guys will be able to see it working. It's about as tight as I can get it. Hose clamp. Also with this, I might be able to actually fill the transmission with it. I just don't want to go overboard. Okay, it's pretty tight. Nice. Oof. This gear oil smells like freaking fish for some reason. It is unpleasant. So we will need to get this in there. This is annoying. It's like not a normal fill on the gear oil, so I can't get the tube in. I'm gonna need another smaller tube, 1/2 inch or something. I was thinking ahead, guys. I left it 1/2 inch out. I'm gonna make this a little extra long just so it'll reach. Got hose clamps for days. All right. You know, if I just started using the hand pump, I probably would have already been done. But This will be a cool thing to test, because imagine how much time I can save if this works. Yeah, all right. And the gear oil. Positioning everything all off camera. All right. All right, we're gonna send it now. There it is. I wonder what the correct speed is because I don't want to aerate it. Ooh, there it goes. Nice. That was probably like 15 seconds. So I'm gonna take this out. Definitely a lot of oil got in there. And we don't want to overfill it, so once it becomes more of a light stream, I'll close her up. But that was very successful. It's definitely aerated because I see a bunch of bubbles in it. But yeah, not bad. I'll wait till it becomes just a little bit thinner, but that's about it. No leaks in the lines I made, so that's good. All right, I'm gonna call it there. Oh no, my stuff. The gear oil fell over, but thankfully it was all in the lines and didn't drip anywhere. All right, give it a little bit. That's tight for sure. Nice. I'm gonna get some brake clean, spray her down, and we'll be done with this one. All right, I sprayed it, but I didn't catch on camera. That's fine. It is all clean down here now. So I'm gonna go to the next one over there and drain her. And then between, I'm gonna clear the lines, the fill lines and stuff. Once I swap to like the next fluid, for example, like once I go to the transfer case, I'll clean out the lines, and then I will blow some compressed air, make sure that there's no cross-contamination. If there's just like the smallest amount, I don't think it's gonna be the end of the world. Oil's oil, but they do different things, so it is a little important. Don't just wanna go into 30 lines. All right, guys, I'm going to do something a little bit crazy. There's no room to get my 8mm Allen and wrench up here because it hits the rear subframe. So I'm going to get my 8mm on here and see if I can crack her loose this way. I might need a little bit more leverage, but yeah, this is rounding off the actual tool. I might need a smaller wrench. Yeah, let me see if I have a smaller wrench. All right, I got a long 8mm, which I think this is gonna be the deal, here, it's gonna work. But I got a 5/16. I don't know if it's bigger or smaller. I'm just gonna test. Feels about the same, honestly. Yeah, just gonna round off. So this has a boxed 12 point. So I'm gonna put this through, and then I'll put this through, and then I'll crank her down. More points of contact. Yeah, that works. Heck yeah. All right, so we got that off, or at least loose. I'm just gonna remove it completely. See if any fluid comes out. The other one, it didn't. So either they're underfilled or they're precisely filled. Yeah, nothing. But now we can take out the drain and see how the rear is. It's probably gonna be as good as the front. All right, got that loose. Loosening, gotta do by hand the rest of the way. Also move the bucket back a little bit just so if it shoots out. Oh yeah, that's clean. That is clean. Yeah, I probably didn't even need to do this. It looks like it literally just got that service. I mean, honestly, when it got all that work done, that broke the car, it probably got a full fluid service already. So I might be doing this for nothing, but I'd rather have the peace of mind knowing that it's good and proper than, not. So I'm gonna clean these up and we'll get some more fluid in there. All right, it's done draining. So just putting the drain plug back in, and it should be just very easy to get the fill in. Okay, that's about tight. Now, gotta grab my amazing contraption. Oh, Jesus. Don't wanna knock all this over. This is kind of the problem with it. It is a bit of a dealio to handle. Try slower and see. I mean, it's spinning really fast already, so maybe get less aeration in there. It's coming out. Oh, Jesus. Oh, good heavens. It just jumped out. Okay, that's definitely good. It was pouring out, and we used about all of it, which is about as much as it called for. So I'm gonna take this out, hopefully. This line, if it'll cooperate, get you right into the pan, and then I'm gonna just shoot her in. The flow is pretty big. It was a lot higher before. I cleared the lines, but it was basically just shooting all the fluid out. All right, fill her up. Let's torque it down. Oh yeah, I need this stupid setup. Look at this friggin' wrench Allen key. And this one I definitely won't be able to over torque. Not that I'm gonna try. That's about as tight as I can get that. All right, brake clean time. Ooh, get it all cleaned. Not that it was dirty to begin with. Looks good. All right, I already went ahead and started cleaning out the lines on the fill tool pump I got. So I'm going to now work on the transfer case, which is up next. All right, now this one shouldn't have that much fluid coming out of it. I think maybe like between half a quart and a quart. I mean, just suppose as much as all the others, but whatever. Came out easy. It's got some thread sealant on it. Oh, just like a vacuum. I heard like air entering it. Completely clean. Oh, that fluid's new for sure. There's a little bit of fluid on the back side of it. All right, here it comes. Ooh, yeah. Set this back just a little bit. All right, that's a little bit darker than the other fluid, but that's not a big deal. I mean, it's not black or anything. It's still corn syrupy. It's just darker. So I hear that the transfer case in these things can go bad, so doing a service is definitely recommended. Dear God, guys, I thought a bug flew my ear or something, but it was a huge clump of freaking earwax. Like, what the heck? I just swatted at my ear. I'm like, oh my God, there's a bug. Nope, a bunch of earwax just fell in my ear for no reason. All right, the drain is done. I'm gonna add the fill plug back in. Nope, I'm dumb. I'm supposed to put the drain plug back in and the fill plug. Almost messed that up. Boy, howdy. Go in. There we go. Okay, this one you really don't want to over torque because it's like an MPT thread into an aluminum case. So we're gonna see if that's enough. All right, guys, got the DTF1 Tyrax or Triax. All right, let's see if we can do this without spilling everything. I think I'm gonna steal the box my light's sitting on. So sorry if it goes dark for a second. Lift you up. I'm gonna put the fill in. Boom. Boom. I'm probably gonna have to hold the fill. Okay, there we go. That's good. Now, this is gonna be the tricky part. I got the fluid here. Gotta put the tube in. I think I'm just gonna have to kind of hold it like this. As long as you can stay. I don't think we're gonna have any problems. Oh, it's blue. What the heck? Wow. That just went everywhere. All right, filling her up. Stop spilling, please. All right, guys. It is pouring out now. I did get a lot on me. That's good. I think there's some in my eyes as well, but regardless. Oh, Jesus, everything's falling over. I got a mess to clean up. My clothes are covered, I'm covered, but it is pouring out, so. And actually about the same amount, maybe a little bit more than was before, so. I'm gonna call it good. I got it in my mouth for sure. It doesn't taste very good. But then again, it doesn't taste like ultra bad. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. Can I brake clean my mouth? Blue everywhere. Why are you blue?
Why are you blue?
You guys know that Breaking Bad meme? Walter White, Jesse after the porta potty. Why are you blue? That's me right now. I am blue. All right, I'm gonna clean up. This is disgusting. I got freaking liquids all over myself. All right, everyone. We are now under the transmission here. So I'm gonna take the drain out. It looks like I have a 5mm. I think that's right. I mean, that's pretty good. So yeah, there we go. That worked just fine. So, I mean, ideally I would capture this. I might actually see about getting a bucket or something, because I would like to measure how much fluid comes out of this, you know, not just catch it into bucket and then just figure it out from there. So actually, I think I'm gonna clean out a catch can real quick and I'll measure it. All right, I got big catch bucket right here, and then I got another one both cleaned out. We will just catch the fluid that comes out of it and measure it. So this might be a bit of a drop, and then I got the next bucket here ready in case it overflows, which that would be bad, but hopefully I don't make a huge mess. Those are always the famous last words though. But yeah, so we're gonna let this drain out. Like I said, there's a little tube in there that governs the fill level. So it's not like a lot's gonna come out right now. A lot more will come out once we take the inner fill tube straw thing out. And then the drain is higher than the lowest point of the pan, so there's still gonna be a little bit of fluid in here. So when we drop this, it's gonna be a controlled fall. But looking at it, it's definitely darker. Like, I can still see through it, like where it's thinner, it's, you know, a little bit more corn syrupy. But yeah, it is definitely a little dark, especially if it's supposed to be red, which I think is supposed to be red. But it's not the end of the world. This wasn't having any problems that I know of, so. All right, I've let it drain a bit. It's gonna take a long time for what I see. A lot of fluid will come out, so I'm just gonna stick my 5mm in there. It's actually plugging it up, so I'm not really getting fluid on me, but I got to unscrew the straw. It was hand tight, so really not bad at all. So I'll just unscrew this. It's coming out. It's gonna be a green straw right there, 5mm, just so you guys are aware. But a lot more fluid's gonna come out now. There we go. So that's definitely a heavier drain. That'll actually get the fluid out. We'll see how much it fills up, and I'll be sure to measure it and put exactly back the amount back in. But that's what it looks like. It's actually pretty dark. Like, I don't think trans fluid's supposed to be that dark. So definitely a good thing we're doing this service, unless the fluid's supposed to be this way. It doesn't really smell burnt or anything like that. It just smells old, but you can see the color of that on the paper towel. Not great. So ultimately, like, I'm 50-50 on it. I'm happy to see it, you know, because that means we're putting new fresh fluid in it. It's probably gonna shift better. But black fluid means that it probably has never been serviced. So this color, I mean, the car has 150,000 miles on it. Maybe it was serviced once. When it's really thin, it's kind of clear, but this is, I mean, as far as I know, it's supposed to be red fluid. We'll see what happens when I put the new stuff in, like what color it's gonna be, but you know, ultimately, I'm not super worried. it could have been a lot worse. While this is draining, I'm gonna start cracking off some of these guys. So these are just 10 millimeters. One thing I hate doing by accident is dropping pan bolts into the fluid, so I'm gonna be very careful. As careful as I can be not to drop them. And I'm gonna leave that corner in just so it's easier to get to next time. Or I guess like that'll be just the last bolt.
Well, actually, no, I don't know if I want that to be the last bolt.
Probably not. Just like that, dropped a bolt.
Damn it. Let me get my magnet.
Where the heck did it go? What the heck, guys? I thought it felt like right in the center. These are magnetic, right? There we go. That took forever to find for some reason. All right, it's coming out a little bit more as a dribble now. Okay, all the front ones. Or I guess that just leaves the front ones, except for this guy. God dang it. I just dropped my freaking socket in here. That's the kind of worst case scenario. I need it to finish the job. There we go. One thing that's ignored on a lot of cars from the factory, like the manufacturer ignores it, is just the transmission cooling. So, I mean, I'm sure this has transmission lines and a transmission cooler and stuff, but I mean, for such a heavy car, it probably needed a bigger one from the factory. I know nothing about these transmissions. It is Toyota, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are good. I don't know. A lot of it is up to, you know, people's maintenance. A lot of people don't take care of their cars, so could be that. So I'm gonna move some of this stuff out of the way. I'll probably move it more like this, more in line. The pan I'm moving, it's kind of off camera. So this is gonna be the struggle part, because when I loosen these last ones, it's going to wanna tilt, you know, and that might create a mess, or will create a mess. So I'm gonna try capturing as much fluid as I can. It'd probably be a good idea if I were to just put down some cardboard, you know. A smart man would do that. That's why I'm not doing it. Okay, well, corners are loose. This one's really hard to get to, god dang. It is just, I need like a little bit of longer socket, I think. Yeah, just hitting something. If I get a longer socket, it might be too long. Yeah, it is. I need like a little tiny wobble socket or something. I got these a while ago. It's a short, stubby wobble socket and wobble extension. So I'm gonna see if I can maybe get that to work on it. I can touch it, but it's not enough angle. Oh wait, very close. Did I get it? I don't think I did. Yeah, that's gonna work. There we go. That can make it on. So let's get an incredibly stubby socket. But now I gotta loosen them. Like I gotta go the rest of the way. Well, that one seems to be the easiest to get to. I'll get the rest off. They're also like loose now, so if I were to put this wrench on it, I don't think it'll loosen. It'll just wobble back and forth. Okay, I can hold the socket. It's good enough. I'm also kind of at the point where I could probably pry this down a bit and more fluid will come out without me removing the pan yet. I'm gonna get the other bucket up there and just kind of hold it to kind of catch everything that falls best I can. It's kind of my only recourse, I think. Very uncomfortable. So I have to spin it by my fingy tips. That's all I got. I don't want to put a wrench in there because the bolt is lowering and gonna just ram the wrench into the subframe and I won't be able to get it out. I'll have to go back and tighten it up and just not worth it. You know, I can just remove the subframe. That would help. Oop, that could have been horrible. Drop the bolt, but it didn't fall in the pan. Heck yeah. All right, I'm just gonna loosen these by hand a bit. They're gonna be threaded in still. And then I'm gonna try cracking the back of the case open or dropping the pan a bit. And I don't wanna go too hard on it. This is a steel pan. I don't wanna run over everything. Don't wanna bend it, then it won't seal right. So I'm just gonna be careful. All right, I got my handy dandy bucket to catch this stuff. All right. Oh, crap. All right, that was not as bad as it could have been. A lot of fluid came out, but I caught most of it. Nice. Definitely a lot more fluid in there. Some hit the floor. It's not that much. Maybe like an ounce. Oil filter, so I'll have to be ready for that too. Once I drop that, and the nozzle inserts near the rear, so it's gonna come down this way. That's gonna be a real mess. That's what I'm afraid of. Okay, cleaned up all that. Well, not cleaned up, I put down some paper towels. I'm gonna put this back up just so I can get the rear bolts out. The pan being sideways is gonna put a load on it and it's gonna make it harder to do by hand. I might even just get my impact and just tighten it on. Only a little bit, nothing crazy. All right, can I get this on easy by hand? Yes, I can. This is gonna be so nice once there's new fluid in there. It definitely needed it. New differential fluid, new transfer case fluid, new transmission fluid. This thing's gonna be shifting perfect. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I think there's a transmission adapt relearn procedure for it because newer cars, they have pretty sophisticated tuning and they base, you know, torque and throttle response off of some transmission logic, and you have to have all that squared away so that sorry, I'm gonna put one more bolt in here just so it doesn't fall, because if I drop this one, this side's gonna drop and I'll probably get some fluid on me over here. There we go. Anyways, So this car has had its whole life running on, you know, this transmission fluid, supposedly. So as it deteriorates, the performance goes down and the memory learns bad behavior. So when you put in new fluid and a clean filter and everything, the variables that the transmission understands are going to change. Like the actual results, the conditions it's going to be operating on, are going to differ from what it expects after all that learning. So you have to reset it so it can learn good behavior and shift properly. So you might do this and do the relearn, and it might shift weird for the first like 50, 100 miles, but that's normal for it to learn the process. It might even be faster than that. It might even be just like 20 miles, but it's always good to do. I did that on my truck. I did a full transmission service on it, basically over the course of multiple pan drops. Not pan drops, I did one pan drop, and then I welded on a drain plug, because they don't come with drain plugs from the factory. So stupid. I had to do that. All right, I'm gonna get this guy over here, and that's where I'm gonna put the pan. Probably should have done that one last, but whatever. Okay, now I'm gonna drop it, sneak it forward. Nice. I'm just gonna pour residual into here. Be sure to clean this and all the magnets. Put that in there, and there we go. Okay, so now we move some of the stuff out of the way. We have to remove the transmission filter. Like I said, it is right here, and it's got some 10 millimeters. I'm just gonna move this bucket over. I don't know if this will catch it. At this point, it's kind of an inconsequential amount of fluid, so I'm just going to put that there. This will certainly catch everything. Certainly, guys. Yeah. But there are some 10 millimeters on here. Let's see if I can get to them from here. Why not? Why don't you let me? That's fine. Gotta do it by hand then. Probably better I do it by hand. Yeah, they bolt in. A lot of transmission filters simply just use an O-ring and just the friction, or, you know, whatever, the grabbing power, the O-ring to just hold it in place. This one uses 4 bolts. They didn't want this thing going nowhere. It's like when you slap a truck after loading down something. That ain't going nowhere. That's what Volkswagen was thinking. I guess Toyota was thinking that. This is a Toyota transmission. It even says made in Japan, right? But it has Volkswagen logos on it too. So it's got an identity crisis. Gotta say, guys, doing this by hand kind of sucks. I'm used to the power tool life. I did my time, you know, on jack stands in the cold and rain and stuff. I got my lift now. I got my climate controlled garage. Power tools. I love power tools. And when I can't use them, it just pisses me off. But it's okay. It's not the end of the world. All right, that's one off. Heck yeah. These others, I think I can take off with my impact. But this one, oh, you mama. I hurt. Don't do that, guys. These little bolts, they lose torque fast, and then you just slam your arm into stuff. God dang it, that hurt. I think I'm gonna come on this side. Might make things a little easier for me. Okay, is better, I think. I can get this one a little bit easier. This bolt is doing the thing where it's like super loose with the wrench, not even ratcheting it. I need to hold the socket as I turn it for it to ratchet, and then when I go by hand, it's tight and I can't turn it. All right, got it. All right, let's see, where is this one? You guys gotta guide me. There it is. All right, see that how easy that should be with an electric tool? Okay, this is the last one. This one might be where it gets a little messy. All right. That wasn't too bad, actually. Nothing fell out up there on the back. It was just the front. Woo! All right. So what I'm going to do is pull you out, pour any remaining fluid into the bucket. It's got some tints of red in it. I'm seeing it in the light. I'm going to put you there. My main bucket that I'm going to measure from. Pull out this way. All off camera. You guys can't see this. That's fine. All these paper towels picking up this mess. God dang it. So much fluid everywhere. Nice. Looks good under there. All right, guys, just got out from under the car. Here's the pan and the filter. I got the new filter here, so I'm just gonna, and gasket. I'm just gonna double check that this is correct. Should be. So it comes with a gasket, and the gasket actually has these little, I don't know what you call them, spacers, and it's there to make sure that you don't over torque the gasket and squish it, I suppose, with proper spacing and all. It actually comes with new ones right there, so that's cool. I think I'm actually going to keep these and extract them because, you know, I don't know if these are steel or aluminum, but spacers are usually, you know, they can be useful. So there's a new filter. It's got a new O-ring. It looks about right. I mean, there's the part number on it. Let me get a better camera angle. There you go. Maybe that's part number. I don't know. Let's check this one. A lot more fluid came out of there, but yeah, it is. It's the same part number. It's hard for you guys to see on there, but that's the same. It's definitely caked up. It's been running for a long time, I'm sure. That drain into the trash. I'm gonna put this in the bucket for measuring because that's, you know, fluid, not an insubstantial amount of fluid right there. I'm gonna pour the oil pan into here and then we can start measuring it. Also need to clean the oil pan, obviously. There we go. And then I would like to demonstrate the fill here. So here's that straw. This is for the fill. So when you're draining it, obviously take this out. But when you're ready to fill it, the pan's everything up in place, you will go ahead and put the fill in. So it just goes through here and screws in, and then that sets a level. Any fluid below this line obviously can't drain out, but you want it to be right at that line where there's a little dribble coming through it. And that's when you know it's full at operating temperature. Or it was like 100 degrees or something like that, 113. Between 90 and 113 something. I'll put this back on screen. And keep in mind, this part is plastic, so when you go to install it, literally hand tight. Like I said, when I removed it, it was hand tight. I had no tool, it just came loose. All right, so I got this big measuring dealio, 128 ounces, so that's 1 gallon. So I'm just gonna measure how many gallons and then convert it, or technically just how many ounces. Don't want to spill any. We need this for measuring, you know? I'm expecting 7 to 8 quarts, and that's why I bought 8. We might not even get that far. Looks can be deceiving. It looks like a lot more, you know? Okay, so that's 1 gallon. Pour all this out. We don't need no more. I mean, sometimes when you have like these filled transmissions and the fluid's not too bad, if you just, happen to not purchase enough fluid, you can just reuse some of the stuff you had. You know, it's kind of like last ditch effort, unless you're willing to go to the store and buy some. This fluid I probably wouldn't want to reuse. I'd rather just go to the store and get new stuff. All right, that's about as much fluid as I can get out of there without making a total mess. So that's about 64, so that's like 1.5 gallons of fluid. Just gonna leave that there now. All right, guys, I did the math, and that is 6 quarts or 5.6 liters of transmission fluid that we need to put in. So I bought 8. We have more than enough, even if I spill a little, which, you know, I will. So I'm gonna probably just use the hand pump for this. I don't want to use my electric gun because it is such a massive thing to hold and handle. Like, I have it right here. You know, I need to keep one end in the thing, and then this would go up into it. I don't got enough hands, you know, to hold everything and hit the trigger. Like, it's just a lot to handle. That's what happened with the blue stuff that hit me. So I'm gonna take this clear hose off, put it back on the pump. And this is actually a good size. This is like a 10 millimeter, kind of really hard hose. So I can kind of screw that up in there. Like I said, there's a special Porsche tool that will screw into it and you can, you know, fill it that way, but this should just be fine. So I'm cleaning out the oil pan, and these are the magnets. So they're definitely a little sludgy. They're not horrible, but just gonna remove all this gunk and we'll be able to put her back together. I got everything all prepped and prepared. I got all the magnets completely clean, the pan spotless. There's just nothing in there anymore. New gasket in, and I got the spacers in as well. There is some evidence that this pan had actually been dropped at some point because this corner had some RTV right here. Normally when people do that, it's like to keep the keep the seal in place, but this thing pops in pretty easily. I don't think it's done from the factory. Also, it was only one corner. So I just, you know, cleaned up the RTV, removed it so that the normal gasket does its job. You know, you don't want anything under a seal, could cause a leak. So I just went ahead and got this all set up. New filter, O-ring. I checked the old O-ring, and this thing was like, it's super hard, and yeah, it just breaks. So good thing, got a new O-ring, new filter. That could easily have failed, and then you'd starve your transmission of fluid. But yeah, we're gonna go throw this in. I'm gonna lube up the O-ring with some oil, and yeah, we'll just work on getting it up into the Porsche. All right, so of course I'm gonna, you know, clean up the edges where the gasket's gonna sit, but right now I'm just gonna get the filter all bolted in, lube up that O-ring, and then I'm gonna need to grab a bolt. So this should kind of just self-align a little bit. There we go. Oh, dropping the bolt already. You know, I might need the impact just to get this going by hand. There's no room for my fingies up there. That's kind of why it's hard to remove the rear ones. All right, there's one. All right, now the tedious task of getting every single one in. It's fine though. Oh, dropped the bolt, and it just fell in the subframe. Good thing it didn't fall into someplace I can't reach. That would ruin my day. Okay, got threaded. This is gonna be a struggle. Once I get threaded though, I think it's gonna be okay. And I don't want to go too hard on these. I really don't want to strip these or crack the filter. Yes, maybe this one's as hard as I get to. Just go in. You know, I think if I just get a tool on there, start going at it, it'll catch a thread. I mean, I think it's already like halfway on the thread. Everything's all lubed up. I'm dropping everything. There we go. That's what I needed. Now time to just turn your brain off and turn the ratchet 1/4 at a turn at a time. All right,
It's coming. So close. Oh, it's tight. Yeah, good. Heck yeah. Tighten this one, and we don't got to go hard at all. You know, this is really, really small thread into an aluminum case, so we don't need anything extensive. That one, don't even need to hold it. I can just spin it. This is almost an electric tool, you know. Your brain runs on electricity, sending signals to my hand to do whatever the heck I'm doing right here. Okay, well now I need to hold it. It was fun while it lasted. Oh yeah, almost done. Yes, tight, perfect. I don't know the etiquette on spraying brake clean into a transmission. You know, it'd be nice to just clear up all this bad fluid off this stuff, but you know, I'm just gonna do my best here with the paper towel. I might get a little Scotch-Brite in here and just touch up the aluminum surface. There's real lightly. Oh, how was that? Just a trim piece that sits up here. It's part of the undercladding part. I mentioned this, I don't think it was this video. It was when I was putting the valve cover on. Having an oily surface isn't the end of the world. I keep saying end of the world. It's not the worst case scenario. It's not the, let me just keep hitting all the things I keep saying. It's not bad in all cases because you want your gasket to go on evenly and not pinch anywhere. So if you got oil on it, then it will help with that actually. So yeah, I think that's clean enough. I'm not gonna bother with getting Scotch-Brite up there. We will just send her on. I might have just been mid-sentence there. Like I said, it's not the end of the world. It's not that bad if the gas gets a little oily. It actually kind of helps. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of oil on it, just so it sits properly on there. No binding or pinching, just a light amount. So it just, you know, finds its way home properly. Okay, yeah. Alrighty, just gonna get one in. Both sides. There we go. All right, other side. And then I'm gonna see if I can look up any torque specs for this thing. I'd like to observe them just so I don't over torque it and it gets sealed properly. Again, these spacers are here just so you don't over torque it. But just wanna be sure, you know, better safe than sorry. These are all going in really easily though, so that's a good sign once you find the hole. And also before you tighten any of them like really hard down, you see it's so like movable. Just make sure it's not tight all the way down so everything lines up properly. You don't want to cross thread anything, especially for the front. You want it to be loose so you can easily get to it because it's going to be a little bit of a struggle here, folks. I can tell you what. And one of the designs of this is there's only 2 bolts at the rear, but there's 3 on the front. So that makes it even harder to get to, of course, because it's 3 you have to deal with right under the subframe. It is not ideal, but these are easier to get to than those filter bolts. Those are pretty hard. All right, only need to thread in 2 more. Yeah, it's corner and that corner, or not corner, the center. The one I was complaining about, this one's gonna be a real bitch to get in. Fell on me. I dropped it again. Come on, butterfingers. Also, I got no light, but that's kind of my fault. I should set up a light over here so I can see. Okay. And center one is threaded. This one, I don't remember being horrible, this last corner, but you know, my memory ain't the best. All right, that's going in. Cool. Gonna go by hand as far as I can go. So my wrists and my fingers turn to dust, you know, and then I'll get my ratchet out, and then the rest I will do by hand with the ratchet. I don't want to go with the impact, honestly. I don't want to over torque this. Oh yeah, the center one I needed to do with like the tiny stubby guy through here. Let's see if I even have enough room. I can't really get the bolt down any farther by hand. It's a little tight in here. Okay, I think I can get on it. That's good news. This isn't cooperating. Walk you straight. There you go. There. Send help, guys. This is horrible. I guess like, it could be worse. I could be on the ground on jack stands in the rain. So it's okay. Time to turn off my brain. And this time, 1/8 of a turn at a time. Maybe a 16th. All right, time to get a little bit more range in the tool. Unlock it. Let's get a bit higher. There we go. I've been doing this probably for like 5 minutes now. Jesus, my arm. Getting tired. Good thing I only have 2 more to do on this side. Yeah, I don't gotta hold I don't gotta hold the socket anymore. It's getting tight. There we go. That's tight for sure. Boom. Okay. Now he's got too much shoulder. A little bit at a time. Oh my God, it's so close. Come on, please. Yes, yes, gotta hold it. I just hate when I have to hold the freaking bolt, or hold the socket. This one's pretty tight already. I did this by hand all the way up, so this one shouldn't take long. There we go. Nice. All right, we just do these ones. I'm just drawing them in so I can do it by hand after the fact. Good. Next one. And we're good.
All right, the last one I think I need to do by wrench is this one here. This one's kind of hard to get to otherwise. I don't think I can put my tool on there. So, but this one's not that bad. It's way more access. The rest I think I can get with the tool and then do the rest by hand. All right, tight. I'm gonna do this one by hand as well, just appreciate the gigs. All right, tight. Do this one, get it up there. Oops, that was a little bit too much, but whatever. All right, get that tight, and this one, and this one. And I'm gonna finish them out by hand. Tight, tight. All right, second to last, finally done. And done. All right, I'm just gonna hand on each of these, just make sure they're all tight. Make sure there's none that I missed. New gasket, all clean. New filter. It's gonna be great. All right, I'm gonna clean up my hands, and then we'll put the fill in. Actually, probably just do that right now. So this is the fill tube, or at least a level tube thing. So I'm gonna go in by hand, and this can't back out because it's gonna have the drain plug behind it. So just go as high as you can with it by hand tight. It's right there. I literally can't turn it anymore. Nice. So the drain plug will sit behind it. Obviously can't come out. So I'm gonna get my hand pump and the 6 quarts ready to throw in there. I'm gonna add probably just 6.5 or maybe 6 1/4, and then we're gonna turn the car on, get it up to the temp it needs to be. This will be left open so that it can drain out any excess. But yeah, that gasket feels tight in there. We are good. All right, I got fluid here, got my hand pump, which I think is gonna just work out better for me than the electric pump that I set up. Got my drain, or my spill thing here. Going to see about kind of just screwing this in here and seeing how I can fill her up. I actually might take the tube off of the pump here first so I can just get it in there. That's good, just getting fluid everywhere. All right, I've kind of threaded in the tube, just some upward force and spinning, and it's pretty tight in there. So I don't know how far I'm gonna go, just until I guess I feel it's good enough. I'm just splashing trans fluid everywhere though, so that's not good. Okay, I think we're at a good spot. Let's back it off by 1. I don't wanna go too far and just make contact with the green filler and pull it out by accident. That would really suck. And I just got my clamp on. All right, so it's gonna take about 6 of these, but I'm gonna go a little bit more than that. And this is the real workout, guys. I've had to do quite a bit of this before though with my GMC. I had to get like 8 of these in. Eventually you might just find a spot on the car you can just push by hand. Unfortunately, my freaking pump is a little busted and doesn't return, so I have to pull it up. So I don't get that luxury, but I do get the luxury of a workout. Yay! And you can actually see how the fluid should look, just as cherry red, just like normal ATF. That stuff that came out was very dark. So I don't think my straw is deep enough to go all the way down. You can see I'm just picking up air now a bit. And I see it's about, I got a little bit less than 8 ounces left. So I put about, I'll just measure. Looks like I put about a little over 20 ounces in. Try to get as much as I can in. So yeah, it looks like 6 ounces left. So I put in 22 ounces. So if I do the math on that, 192 divided by 22. I'm not a mathematician, so I don't know. New one going in. I like these ones that just screw on, these hand pumps. They're the most simple and probably the cheapest ones. I've had one break before, but they get the job done. It's so hard. If it does break, thankfully I do have my hand drill, you know, that would work for this. It's just so hard to use. So heavy. Too many things to keep track of, you know. Got to hold, like I showed, you know, the fill tube, which I guess would actually go into this. Maybe it would be okay because I only have to hold 2 things, the trigger and this, but it's okay. I'll go as far as this goes. If it breaks, and I'll bring out the electric. Whew, I'm close on this second one. Also, you know, okay, we're down to about 4 there. I can pour the excess into another bottle that's empty or that we've already used, right? So like this one, for example, that way I can try to get as much in as possible. There's hardly any left in this one. I can kind of squeeze these bottles and get most of it out, but we'll keep that one. 2 down, hopefully only, well, I guess technically 1 3/4. But this definitely takes a little bit of time. Like I said, you'll get a workout. And I keep saying it, at least I'm doing this under a car lift, climate controlled garage and out in the rain. I've done this out in the rain before. On concrete, it's not fun. These quote unquote lifetime fluids are a scam. A lifetime being 100K miles in the manufacturer's eyes. Like, why not just say 100K fluid. I don't know the statistics behind it. I don't know if people own their cars more than 100K normally or if they sell them before then, but it's just advertised at that point because people might not even plan to have it that long, you know? Might need to take off my sweater and get a little warm in here. Whew, pumping. Almost done with this one. This will be my third one. Oh, Christ, it's hard. Let's pour the remainder into the other one. Uh-oh. Oh, they're all a little crushed, so they can't stand up straight. Okay, fourth bottle. All right, guys, I'm getting close. I've gotten through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the leftover. So the leftover, after pouring some in, I'm at the 16 ounce, so it's a pint. I was wrong, these aren't 28, they're started at 32 ounces. So we put in, 5 quarts, it needs 6, and we have 16 pints remaining, 16 ounces remaining, 1 pint. So I'm at as much from this as I can, and then just a smidge more from another bottle. And that'll put us at the 6 quarts that we lost. And I mean, we'll literally see the level, like once it's in this tube, it wants a back feed because it'll be overflowing and just try to come back down the tube. See how much of this I can get out of it actually. Might not even need to put in any more from another bottle. So that's actually basically everything. There's maybe like an ounce in there. It's not back feeding yet, but heat, as the temperature increases, the fluid expands. So it could be enough, but I'm just gonna add just a little bit more here. Make sure that it back feeds just a little bit, and then we can start with warming up the car. Also connect my scanner and do the transmission relearn. I think I'm gonna put in just about 4 ounces, a little bit past that. So I'm gonna try, just gonna disconnect this here, and I might just pull you off, and then see what drains out, if it's a bit or what. Also might just, so there's a little bit of a stream coming out, I think, I don't know. Let me decide just a smidge more. A little more can't hurt because it'll drain out. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Definitely a little over 6 quarts went in. I guess some of the filter was full too. It was containing some of it. I'm just gonna do my plan 6.5 quarts and then see how we are from there. Just a little bit more. Okay, so yeah, we definitely overfilled it a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is pull this out. Try not to get fluid freaking everywhere because this is gonna wanna fling it. There we go. All right, I'm gonna raise the vehicle a bit, remove the locks, lower it just enough so I can open the garage door. I don't wanna gas myself. I'm actually going to plug this real quick actually. I want to read about it, see if we need to bring it up to temperature before draining it or if we just leave this open. So just be on the safe side, I'm going to plug it just by hand. I don't need to torque it down or anything. It's also going to be time to clean up stuff from under the car. All right guys, I got the car up in the air, got my scanner connected. I'm going to click the trans adaptation and see what it says here. I haven't started it or done any of the draining yet. It says, please press continue, press cancel to return, reading or writing chassis number. Continue. Enter the chassis number, it got the VIN, status okay. Please wait 8 seconds, it's counting down. Waiting, succeed in ending the procedure, press continue to continue. All right, so that did the trans read app. And now I just need to go back to the diagnosis and we'll scan the transmission temperature because it needs to be like at 120 degrees. So do auto scan, we'll see. So it's just gonna scan everything and then I can go into the transmission data. This part takes a little bit of time, so. We'll wait. Got my belt caught on that. All right, it took me a little bit of finding, but under the transmission oil temperature, 14 degrees. I believe that's just obviously Celsius, so we'll convert that to Fahrenheit. And I just need to double check real quick. Like I said, it needs to be like 113 degrees. Definitely not 113 degrees Celsius, so it needs to be about 45, up to 45. I think it's between the 90, let's just say 90 degrees. So between 32 and 45 degrees Celsius. 32, 45. All right, so I'll go and get it started, and I still have the drain plug in there. It's a little loose. I will unplug it, and we'll check the level once it's warmed up. So I got my, welding wire to reach the brake pedal because I can't get this turned on otherwise. So I'm just gonna set that right there, come over here and flip her on. You guys can see the process right now. Also, I did hit the trans adapt function, so. I gotta be on my tippy toes. I have lost the brake. Where the heck did it go? There it is, I see it. A welded wire. So I'm gonna slowly let it idle up. I'm also gonna hop in the car and just run it through the gears, park, neutral, reverse, whatever, and we'll get some fluid in places and let the temperature increase. All right, we're back to add a little bit of fluid. I went ahead and added most of this quart actually, and we're gonna see if we get a steady stream out of here. It looks like we are actually. Car's at just under 45 Celsius. So we know that's good. Yeah, it's a healthy stream. All right, where's the plug now? I'm just gonna let this kind of more dribble and then we will add the plug. It's already kind of getting there. It's waning off a bit. All right, started dribbling a bit, so I'm gonna close her up. Not gonna go super hard on this. All right, I'm gonna shut off the car And we're gonna put the undercladding on and then we'll be done. All right, guys, that is all done. I'm going to brake clean around this, just clean it up. And yeah, it took probably 6 and, I mean, it's a little over 1/4 left in this, so about like 6 3/4 quarts. So that's neat. Took a bit more than I expected. I mean, as far as the fill goes, the instructions were clear on how to do it, so just get it warmed up and test her out. So should be all good now. This is definitely one of the things I hate about working on transmissions is the fluid gets everywhere. It's just unavoidable. Like, you can never, ever not do something like this, a pan drop, and not get fluid everywhere. It's just how it works, you know? It's like making a deal with the devil. It's like you get new fluid, you get new, you know, performance, good, longer life, but you get covered in this stuff. It gets everywhere. It gets in your freaking sleeves, hair, freaking skin. It's gross. When I did the 6RD swap on my Mustang years ago, like, I got sick of the smell of transmission fluid. I was dealing with that all the time, trying to make everything right with that thing. Not that that was a bad product or anything. Not that anyone even remembers my Mustang, but it, you know, I have a lot of experience with these things. All right, all cleaned up, no drips, no leaks anywhere. That's epic. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting the freaking under tray back on. We'll see if you guys can see it. I think I might have blasted you guys with some, what's it called? Brake clean, so sorry about that. You know, it happens. Gotta get this thing on. Remember where it goes. It even goes in here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why is my car making noises? I heard a pump go. I swear to God, what the heck? You go up and over like that? So close, so far. There we go. There we go, that's it. That's the stuff right there. This weird cross brace thing in. It's just like a very loosely fitted thing. There we go. God, I'm just rolling around in transmission fluid. I hate it. This guy was a little harder, I remember. Also, the exhaust is all nice and spicy now, so that's great. Let me go over and about to eat some dust here. Right in my eyes. Like I said, deploy your safety squints if you're not willing to wear safety glasses. That's good. Everything's all loosely tight in there. Okay, this on. This guy, like I said, might just need a new bolt. I'm afraid it's gonna rattle. So, I mean, a nut and bolt would work too. I feel like the threads in that thing up top are just worn out. Yeah. All right, I just got a little tiny nut and bolt that will fit through there better. Well, I don't know better, but it'll just be good. It'll actually hold on versus not doing anything. I actually might want to flip this now that I'm thinking of it, and I probably don't need such a long one. I don't want to puncture anything by accident. All right, got that through. Nut on. Just hand tight. There we go. And we'll give it a little ugga-dugga. Much smaller than a 10mm. I don't know why I assumed it was. Okay, 9mm doesn't even freaking spin it. All right, guys, most random socket, the 11/32. Who uses an 11/32? Not me. I use 10mm, bro. All right, well, that doesn't even fit that one. For some reason it fit the one I tested right here. Well, whatever. It did tighten it, so this isn't going to, like, you know, come loose or anything. Okay, now, ow, got all these fasteners for the bottom of this. I would like to have cleaned this under tray. It has collected some, you know, grime and oil from the years it's been on, but no one's got time for that right now. It's loud. All right, now we will just go up. I think I'm gonna maybe secure the front first. Oh, Jesus. You know, maybe doing this in one big piece wasn't the best idea. Oh, well. All right, got one in, and I'm gonna try going back here and get another in. Oops, knocked over a light. Don't want to do that. The light that just blinds me all the time. All right, get the rear bolted on. All right, bolting it down. Cool. Now we just got a couple of little guys to go through. I actually don't need the T30. That was the bolts that hold these two together. So it's all just 10 mils now. So the bracket that I had to remove, there we go. It was just a little off-centered, but they all line up still. So that's good. Okay. All right, where's the hole on this one? Nice. All right, that is tight. Now we just got a couple more up here. Got that top one. Oops, it needs to be lined up a bit. I'm dropping all my bolts, so that's good. There we go. It's just a little stuck. Perfect. This is almost back together. Heck yeah. All right, just 3 more and we're done. All right, that's all of them. We are ready to put this back on the ground and take it on a test drive, I think. All right, guys, I'm gonna see if this works for you, if you can see me. We are going to just do a couple things. First, trans adapt and the, let's see, adaptation. What kind of engine adaptation is there? Parking brake applied, ignition on, engine off. Okay, so this is engine adaptation. Throttle valve, it's gonna test. Gonna do the throttle valve test, start, test completed, good. All right, yeah, throttle was good. Now we will go to, let's see, kick down, test. I don't know what kick down is. Okay, so I had to put the pedal to the floor, and it said that was completed. Okay, and radiator shutter. I don't think that's necessary. Transmission control. By the way, guys, there's no codes or anything, so that's good news. Oops. I'm gonna see if there's anything I can do with the all-wheel drive as far as like adaptations. So let's turn it off. Press continue. Start the engine, let it idle for 20 seconds. All right, please wait 10 more seconds. So this is probably good. Transfer box oil service. It says only do it after replacing the fluid, so we're doing that. Press continue. Force calibration in progress. Succeeded. Press continue. Cool. I'm just seeing if there's anything else involved here that I can adjust or change or readapt. It looks like it's all good. I'll escape. And then I will go to functions. We'll go to transmission, trans adaptation, reading the code and chassis. I already did this, but I'm just going to do it again since it had been running a little bit. Cool. All right, that's all done. So I'm going to bring up the live data again, just watch the transmission fluid temperature, and then we will go on a drive. First drive, finally. It's been idling good. Like, I mean, literally everything's good. It's right at 200 degrees for the coolant temperature. Oil pressure, it's like 30 PSI, a little over 2 bars. It's all good. All right, I suppose we'll go on our test drive now. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. And after doing the trans adapt and, you know, all the transfer case stuff, it's probably going to shift just a little weird, given that it's completely new fluid and this car hasn't driven in forever, as you guys know, right? It's been sitting for a long time, so it's got to relearn some stuff. You guys are getting knocked over by the torque already. I might have to hold the camera just a little bit, but driving good so far. It's 5th gear, 6th gear. It's driving good, guys. Hell yeah. I just bought a $5,000 Porsche. I think that's what, a $5,000 Porsche. And this thing's probably worth like, I don't know, $14,000, $15,000, maybe $16,000. So that's pretty great. We'll see how the drive goes, but I'm very pleased so far. It shifted perfectly. I didn't feel any of the shifts. It just went, which is great. The transmission temperature says it's 57 degrees right now, so it's getting up in that, you know, operating temperature. I think just like, you know, engine oil can get close to like 200 degrees, but you want to keep it lower, you know, between like probably 170 to 190, and that's Fahrenheit. Right now it's recording in Celsius. But I'm going to take it on a drive and just see how it does. It's doing great so far. Good oil pressure. Again, good oil temperature, coolant temperature. Yeah, no noises, no leaks. Like, this is awesome. I'm driving a Porsche. I've never owned a Porsche or a nice car like this before. Other than my GMC, my 2015 GMC is pretty nice. But yeah, this is awesome, guys. Very excited and very happy with the results, you know. Just a valve and a injector coil harness. That's what did it. It's also warmed up. We can probably give it a little throttle here. Oh yeah, that feels great. Pretty good for a 6. I mean, it's still a 6-cylinder. It's a V6, you know, VR6. It's got, how much horsepower was that? It's got like 330 horsepower. Doing pretty good. That is awesome. Sounds good too. No check engine lights, no misfiring, no hitches. Man, this is awesome. Got my AC, got my heated seats, got my ventilated seats, got my heated steering wheel, got my panoramic sunroof. Like, this is a luxury, guys. A little bit of an upgrade for jury rig garage, that's sure. I think the next car flip I do, I'll try to go back to more of our roots, maybe find like a sports car or something. But I mean, honestly, I like these, and I think enthusiasts like them too. The Cayennes are very popular. People even take them off-roading. I see it all the time. So, you know, the Volkswagen group has a lot of enthusiasts in there. So pretty much any of them, all the Porsches, stuff like that, like, there are going to be people working on them and doing fun stuff with them. So, although this is just like an SUV, it's a little bit more than that. You know, it's got the locking differentials. Like, it's an off-roader. It's an off-roader. It's got, and the bigger ones that come with V8s and turbos and stuff like that. So just a measly V6, you know. Honestly, I feel like it's plenty of power for something like this, you know, just daily car, really. You don't need more power because you're just going to waste more gas. Yep, everything feels smooth. I've driven it a couple miles now. No check engine codes, no noises, no grinding, no nothing. The shifts feel great. The engine is nice and quiet, you know, no weird vibrations. Like, man, it's just so good. I'm very happy with this. All right, guys, I'm back from that drive. It went off without a hitch. There was no problems. It drove perfect. There was no weird shifting. I mean, even I did the trans readapt, learn, or whatever, and it shifted fine. I literally couldn't even feel it shift. It was amazing. Super luxury. I've never driven a Porsche before. Actually, I have. I drove a Porsche 911 GT3 in an Extreme Experience track thing. years ago. It was like 2018 or something. So, I mean, pretty close. It's a 2016 car. So, I mean, the gauge cluster is all the same. Anyways, yeah, it went super good. Just no problems. I monitored the transmission temperature, and the max I got to is 86 Celsius. So I think that's like still under 190, or it's about 190, so Fahrenheit. So that's perfectly fine. You know, I was in a little bit of stop and go. I didn't even get on the highway. I did drive about a little over 20 miles, so no issues, no leaks. I parked the car. Well, actually, I kept it running, checked under the car once I got home, made sure that there were no leaks. I filled up gas. I got a car wash, so it's looking great now. The next video, we're probably just going to be doing some final detailing and final, stuff to prepare it to sell. So I'm going to be cleaning the outside, removing any kind of blemishes, buffing out some stuff, polishing, and then the inside, I'm going to detail everything, all the stuff you're going to touch, just make sure it's all clean and looks pristine. I have some ozone spray, so it'll make it smell like a new car. Not that it smells bad, it actually smells pretty good right now. So gonna do that. There are some floor mats that are in the back. They're Porsche floor mats, they're OEM, which is really cool. I like to see that. Depending on how they look, I'll just either throw them in the back or just put them in, just so the next buyer can decide how they want to go about it. And then we also have one of these, a couple things. So new headlight bulbs, so I'm gonna put those in. And then this is something that Auto ABC sent me. This is a module that you can wire in. This is a module you can wire in to your Porsche. It maintains the factory head unit. You don't replace it. It looks OEM. You still have all the OEM functionality. It just adds wireless Apple CarPlay, which I love. I love having Apple CarPlay in all my vehicles. I'm pretty sure this car has Apple CarPlay if you plug in your phone, but no one likes to do that. Wireless is better. So they hooked it up for me. They sent this to me. So I'll show you guys how to install that. You basically just remove the stereo, you open up the box, and then you just put in this motherboard type thing, some connectors. It just goes in line with everything. Pretty straightforward. And then you got wireless Apple CarPlay. So make it really nice for the next owner. And yeah, it'll be great. So once we have that, we're gonna take some final photos and list it, and it'll be done. So after that, we're gonna be returning either to the Fiero, I think just getting the Fiero done, or working on Tristan's Firebird. So some more race car stuff. We took a little segue to do this car flipping. The car flips are gonna continue. I will just, when the right car comes up, we'll know, basically. I'm gonna try to get cars that you guys will enjoy because, like I was talking about in the test drive, there's a lot of Volkswagen, enthusiasts out there. They might not be in my community yet, but I like to expand my horizons. Working on European cars, I've never done that before, especially Porsche. So, it's good for me to learn. I like doing it. It was all within my scope, all in my wheelhouse. So it wasn't too bad, but I do appreciate you guys watching, all my channel members. You guys definitely help a lot. If you want to join me as a channel member, you get early access to new videos. So if you want to watch the next video, you can watch it right now. But, just like the video, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. That definitely helps me out as well. So again, I appreciate all my viewers, and I'll see you next time.